Big breaking news at this point of time, right after the market closed. Tata Motors has decided to demerge in a sort of a reset and will list its CV business and the passenger vehicle business separately. So what goes under the passenger vehicle business? It's the passenger cars, the Nexon, the Punch, the electric cars, the Tiago EV, the Nexon EV, and the JLR piece of the Tata Motors family. The CV business will house the trucks business. So essentially, it's a kind of a demerger that's being done. It will be implemented through NCLT, and all the shareholders of the company will continue to have identical shareholding in both the companies. The demerger is expected to be complete in 12 to 15 months. Joining us today is Sajith with more details on this particular transaction. Sajith, over to you.
Yeah, that's right. The demerger is primarily trying to bring in some unlocking of value into the passenger vehicle business. Currently, if you look at a chunk of revenue for Tata Motors comes from its, commercial vehicles and passenger vehicles. And in the next 12 months, what is going to happen is that as the EV business it will form a subsidiary, and that will create a different value for the entire passenger vehicle segment there. Tata is trying to unlock value from the entire business. So the entire business of TV, along with all the entities related to commercial vehicles, will be housed in one company. Okay. And the passenger vehicle, which includes the electric vehicle and the JLR, will be housed in another separate company. And both the companies would be listed separately on the stock exchange. It will take some time for the entire demerger to come through, 12 to 15 months was the expectation by the company, and by the end of that, you will have two separate entities which will be listed with the scheduling of the current Tata Motors.
All right. Yeah. So a couple of questions. What is the sense of the valuation that is going to be unlocked that you are seeing right now? What can the investors gain from this demerger?
So if you look at the kind of revenues that is coming in from the CV business, it seems that a chunk of that assets will be part of Tata Motors TV, which will be demerged. The rest of the business, the manufacturing part of it, for the PV business, which is one or two plants, Thailand will be one of them, and maybe some part of Pune plant, will form part of the entire the passenger vehicle business. Remember that the entire EV business is an asset-light business model which has been built in. So the manufacturing will be primarily undertaken at the PV plant and then sold at arm's length basis to the EV company. So it's going to be really tough to talk about what kind of valuation it will take, because our CV valuation is slightly discount to the private passenger vehicle, and because they want to unlock value, the value will primarily unlock from the passenger vehicle company rather than the CV company.
Okay. So we know that the EV unit within Tata Motors has outside investors in TPG Climate, the outside investors. So are they looking at bumper returns, so to speak, due to this demerger?
It's not really bumper. So let's give you a perspective, right? If you look at FY23, 70,000 odd crores of revenue came from the CV business and 47 came from the passenger vehicle business for Tata Motors. And in the 9 months that we see, nearly 50,000 odd has come from 57,000 has come from the commercial vehicle, and passenger vehicle is roughly around 37 or 38,000 odd crores. So from a revenue point of view, CV is a larger business which is there, but it will get a lower multiple as compared to passenger vehicles, which will be demerged. Okay. So it's going to unlocking for passenger vehicle and the EV unlocking EV valuation that will play out for Tata Motors, and that's where I think the shareholders will also benefit from it.
Okay, so we're looking at some key numbers now. Thank you so much, Sajid, for joining us. We're looking at some key numbers now. Revenue of Tata Motors Group was, of the PV business, was 47,868 crore rupees in FY23. JLR, outsized contribution there, almost 3/4 of the revenue at 2,22,860 crore rupees. The total PV sales comes up to about total PV, it comes up to about 2,70,000. That's 79% of the company's revenue. CVs bring up about 21% of the overall revenue in FY23. As far as profitability is concerned, the EBIT margins, the PV business enjoys EBIT of 542 crore. JLR has a EBIT of 3,482. The total PV business is, again, contribution is about 45%. So essentially what Sajid said actually holds. This is actually the value unlocking that we have seen at Tata Motors happening over the years. Remember, late last year, the company listed its Tata Technologies division after about 3 decades of the company in existence. So essentially, that was one value unlocking, and this is another one which investors should look at. So essentially, in next 12 to 15 months, we are looking at a Tata Motors reset.